Now there are two reverse shackle mount options for the Trailfinder 2 chassis right now. One of them is the RC four-wheel drive one. Hey guys, welcome back to Revolution XRC. Today we're going to look at adding reverse shackle mounts to the front part of the suspension on this RC four-wheel drive Marlin. Now if you guys are familiar with the RC four-wheel drive Trailfinder 2 platform, you'll know that they're based on leaf springs. The Trailfinder 2 has the leaf springs in the front with the shackle also mounted in the front. Now what happens when the shackles are mounted in the front is that when you compress the suspension of the rig, you'll see that the wheel actually moves toward the front upon compression. Right there. So the thought is that when the shackles are in the front and the suspension moves forward upon compression, it works against you when you're going up inclines, because you're basically having the axle fight moving up the incline by moving forward. Now what the reverse shackle mount will do for you is to move this shackle here and put it on the skid side instead. And what happens is, instead of moving forward upon compression, the wheel or the axle will move towards the back upon compression. Because of it moving back upon compression, it will also have to clear the wheel well over here a little bit more. So the A&M Garage reverse shackle mount does provide a plus 4mm reverse shackle mount kit, which moves the axle 4mm forward. Now there are two reverse shackle mount options for the Trailfinder 2 chassis right now. One of them is the RC four-wheel drive one, right here. And the other one is the A&M Garage reverse shackle mount kit. And he has them in two options. Regular reverse shackle mount and plus 4mm, and right here I have the plus 4. Now what the plus 4 does, once again, it moves the axle forward 4mm so that when you compress it, it doesn't really hit the rear here of the wheel well. And moving the axle forward also helps you hit the tires first when you're going up an incline. Alright, let me remove the body and we'll get started on installing the A&M Garage plus 4mm reverse shackle kit. Now before we go ahead and install the reverse shackle mount, I'm going to remove the transmission just for ease of access to the shackle hangers here. Yep. And we'll go ahead and do that and I'll be right back. Alright, these are the parts that come with the A&M Garage plus 4mm reverse shackle kit. Here is the hanger mount. These are two M3x10s. These are two M4x16s. These are two M3x16s. Two M4 lock nuts. Two M3 lock nuts. And some brass inserts for these M3x16s. Now you will be using the existing screws that are attached to the leaf spring itself. So these are only the screws for the mounts. Let's go ahead and remove the existing shackle setup. First thing I'm going to do, remove the wheels and tires. Just give myself easy access to the shackles and the leaf springs. Oops, wrong one. This guy. Tires. Alright, let's get started on removing the shackles. Now, what I'm using here is a Team Associated Factory Team 2mm ball point. It allows you to unscrew these hex screws at an angle. Really handy. And I'll put a link to this screwdriver in the description below. Now you'll be reusing these, so set them aside for now and just know that you'll be reusing them. Alright, we've removed the shackle mounts for the stock setup. We'll go ahead and add the A&M Garage plus 4mm reverse shackle mount now. Alright, so the front, we'll also need to remove the screw for the bumper mount. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Alright, so what we're going to want to do, take this piece, this one goes on the inside, and this piece here goes on the outside, like so. The first thing we're going to need is the M3x10, and you'll probably want to Loctite it, or thread lock, whatever you want to call it. Loose for now. I'll tighten it up later. Now you want the M4x16 with the nut, and that goes into this side right here. And this M4 should actually go through 2 plates. There's going to be one on the inside here. Alright, so here's the M4x16. You'll see how it's supposed to be installed right there. Now I'm going to tighten it up off the camera because having the camera in front of my face isn't really the best position to get this done. So after I secure that nut and screw, we'll be right back. Now for this screw right here, an M3x10 was provided, but it was a little bit too long. I felt like the M3x8 was a little bit more appropriate, so I'm going to be switching this screw right here to an M3x8. Okay, so I've got this shackle mount installed, and this is how it should look. There. And we'll go ahead and work on the other side. Okay, so I've got both of the front reverse shackle mounts installed. Now let's go and install the rear. Alright, so let's take care of the back of this mount. And we're going to want to use these M3x16s. Go through this little brass ring right here. Alright, on this side, you're going to want to use this flanged brass fitting with the flange on the chassis side. And put the other side of the shackle on. And have this go through a little bit more so I can get the M3 nut on. There we go. Now it's mounted to the chassis in the rear, and we're ready to mount the springs on. Okay, so for this, you'll reuse these bolts or screws right here. And attach the leaf spring. I'm using the wrong hex driver. Alright. There we go. And we'll also want to put the front on as well. Yeah, there. Alright, got one side on. You can see how it works. Let's go ahead and put the other side on. And there it is. The reverse shackle mount is installed. You can see that the shackle here in the rear, the axle gets pushed backward instead of forwards. There is one caveat to using this reverse shackle mount. So since I bought the plus 4mm version, you're gonna have to probably replace the drive shaft with a longer one. This one's very, very close to its limits and it just might pop out. They recommend you to get a longer one just to prevent that. So it's a moot point for me because I'm going to be replacing these drive shafts with something else. But for right now, just keep that in mind that if you use the plus 4mm reverse shackle mount from A&M Garage, you probably will have to get a longer length drive shaft in the front here. But that is about it for the reverse shackle mount. And let me just put the front wheels and tires on, and as well as the body, so you can see where it is. Of course, you're also going to require some body trimming if you're using the Mojave 2 body. You're going to have to trim the front like the Marlin is, so that the tires will clear. Alright, I've got the wheels and tires back on, and I've got the cab on, so you can see where the axle sits now. You can see that it's pushed forward, so you will need to trim this part of the cab for the Mojave. It's just so that it's similar to the Marlin. The Marlin has it cut right there at that line that I drew right there, and that's probably where you'll have to cut it. And you can see with the reverse shackle mount that when you compress the suspension, it moves backwards into the wheel well. So when you're going on an incline, it'll get pushed up and back instead of up and forward fighting the incline. So overall, having this plus 4mm reverse shackle mount should give you a better approach angle for the front, as well as the optimal suspension behavior when it gets compressed. So that's about it for the A&M Garage plus 4mm reverse shackle mount. Hope to get the rest of this Marlin up and running soon. There's a bunch of other stuff that I still need to do to it, so stay tuned for future videos. And that's about it for this segment. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for future updates on this RC4-wheel drive Trailfinder 2 Marlin build series. Thanks for watching.